In radiometry, radiant exposure or radiant fluence is the radiant energy received by a surface per unit area, or equivalently the irradiance of a surface integrated over time of irradiation. And spectral exposure or spectral fluence is the radiant exposure per unit frequency or wavelength, depending on whether the spectrum is taken as a function of frequency or of wavelength. The SI unit of radiant exposure is the joule per square meter, while that of spectral exposure in frequency is the joule per square meter per hertz, and that of spectral exposure in wavelength is the joule per square meter per meter, commonly the joule per square meter per nanometer. Mathematical definitions. Radiant exposure of a surface, denoted He, is defined as where is the partial derivative symbol. QE is the radiant energy, A is the area, T is the time of irradiation, E is the irradiance. Spectral exposure in frequency of a surface, denoted He, nu, is defined as where nu is the frequency. Spectral exposure in wavelength of a surface, denoted E, lambda, is defined as where lambda is the wavelength. SI radiometry units. SI radiometry units V, T, E. Standards organizations recommend that radiometric quantities should be denoted with suffix E, to avoid confusion with photometric or photon quantities. ABCDE alternative symbols sometimes seen. W or E for radiant energy, P or F for radiant flux, I for irradiance, W for radiant excitance. ABCDEFG spectral quantities given per unit frequency are denoted with suffix nu, not to be confused with suffix V, indicating the photometric quantity. ABCDEFG spectral quantities given per unit wavelength are denoted with suffix lambda. AB directional quantities are denoted with suffix omega.